And Masood grew up just outside of Kabul, Afghanistan, in a pretty tough situation. It wasn't gang violence like Coach K saw, but in his case, he saw way too many tragedies as a kid, largely due to landmines. Landmines, it turns out, is a terrible problem in our world. There's 110 million of these killing machines on the planet. They kill 20,000 people a year, injure and maim many times more. So as a kid, he knew, he said, I'm going to do something about this. I don't know what yet, but I got to, this is just awful. I can't let this happen. He often would reflect on it as he would watch the tumbleweed blowing over the desert floor when he was a kid. Anyway, he grows up, goes to university, and a traditional path would be you go get a job at a landmine company and work your way up the ladder, and maybe over time, 30 years later, you invent a little teeny tweak, and that helps landmines. Well, Masood Hassani luckily had no patience, and he was an innovator. He defied tradition. So when you think about tradition, it turns out that landmine removal has been basically the same since the 1960s. It's expensive, it's dangerous, and it's not all that effective. So he completely lets go of tradition, defies it, and comes up with this thing. It's called the Minecraft font. In his native language, that means mine exploder. And what you have is you have about 100 or so of these light bamboo rods, and they're connected at the end by clay discs. So what happens is it's light enough, just like the tumbleweed he saw as a kid, to blow across the desert floor. Yet those clay discs are heavy enough to detonate landmines when they roll over. Totally transformed the industry. So this turns out to be far less dangerous, far more effective. It's over 100 times less expensive. The design was so profound that it's now on permanent display at the Museum of Modern Art in New York. He didn't get there by following the rules. He got there by breaking them.